Hello, my name is Elizabeth Vasquez, and I will be presenting my paper entitled Social-Cultural Factors in the Design of Technology for People with Stroke. Stroke is caused by a loss of blood flow to the brain through either a rupture or blockage of a blood vessel. It is one of the leading causes of lifelong disability and death in the United States, but for medically underserved Hispanic stroke survivors, the disease is even more debilitating. Hispanics have higher risk factors and incidence rates of stroke, worse cognitive and functional outcomes, and from 2005 to 2050, the projected cost of stroke for the Hispanic community is expected to be $313 billion. Stroke technology can help to ease the burden of stroke. We define stroke technology as anything that aims to improve quality of life and bring people with stroke to the most functional, independent state possible. We focus on helping those with movement disabilities. Stroke technology can range from a passive walker to an active actuated robot. It can be a diagnostic, assistive, or therapeutic device. However, these technologies are not built or tested in Hispanic communities, and so it's unclear how effective they are in supporting the Hispanic community. These technologies are often built assuming an ideal recovery journey, which is not true for medically underserved Hispanic people. A simplified recovery journey for the general population of people with stroke starts with the hospital visit. From there, the patient may seek inpatient therapy at an inpatient facility, and then after that, outpatient therapy. If they elect to, they may continue ongoing movement therapy at a private facility or at a stroke support center. However, for medically underserved Hispanics, this journey can end as early as after the hospital visit. Therefore, they lose out on much of the therapy that is essential in order to get better. When we design for the ideal, we make less accessible and applicable technology for medically underserved people. Looking to previous research in health education and digital health, we see success in incorporating social cultural factors of the Hispanic community to make better interventions. For example, adapting telemedicine for Hispanic communities. A few insights from these interventions are that they focus on empowering the community by providing knowledge and self-management tools such that they can reduce their risk factors and control their disease. Additionally, these interventions often focus on the community level, and they might use methods such as community-based participatory research as the design approach. Additionally, they often use things that are familiar. So for example, familiar images, examples, and language. And finally, they incorporate cultural aspects specific to the Hispanic community. Here I've listed a few key ones. So building on the insights from previous successful culturally tailored work, we provide 4 design considerations for stroke technology in this paper. But in this presentation, I'll focus on just the last consideration. In this consideration, we propose that researchers empower stroke survivors through their technology by incorporating cultural factors, specifically familialism, which is a strong attachment, importance, and solidarity within the family unit, is particularly powerful within the Hispanic culture. This cultural aspect makes interventions that include the family particularly effective for Hispanic communities. Specifically, we encourage technology that educates the family unit on the stroke disease state so that they may better control it. The family aspect in this case is especially important because a family history of stroke and having had a previous stroke are both risk factors in stroke. By educating not just the person with stroke, but the entire family unit, we can prevent further strokes and in turn the burden of stroke within the Hispanic community. An example of how one might do this within stroke technology is by incorporating an observable metric that encourages families to exercise together and shows how exercise time reduces blood pressure, which is a risk factor in stroke. As we continue to develop stroke technology, we need to ensure that we aren't creating more inequity through the design of our technology. And so we propose more research in culturally specific designs that are evidence-based from findings in other health intervention domains. We're excited to talk more about challenges and opportunities in doing this work. Thank you for your time.